The river looked calm that evening, a mirror of gold under the fading South African sun. But the villagers standing along the banks knew better. They whispered warnings, glancing nervously at the water's edge as if it could leap out at any moment. This was no ordinary river. It belonged to something ancient, something feared. Something they called Mamlambo, the brain sucker. Now, before you think this is just another campfire story, let me ask you. Would you dare step into water if you knew countless witnesses claimed it swallowed people whole, leaving nothing but a body drained and broken, or would curiosity pull you closer? That's the power of the Mamlambo. It's said to be a river spirit, part horse, part snake, with shimmering scales that glow in moonlight and eyes like burning coals. Locals swear it slithers beneath the surface, waiting for the careless and the greedy. One fisherman, an old man with scars across his arms, once told a chilling story. He said he saw a glow beneath the river like liquid lightning. At first, he thought it was treasure-sunken coins sparkling under the water. But then the glow rose higher, forming a shape too large, too smooth. The head of a serpent, the body of a reptile, and the hunger of a predator that knew no mercy. He ran. Would you have done the same, or would you have stayed, mesmerized, even knowing death was seconds away? But here's the thing, Mamlambo isn't only feared for its physical power. It's also known as a seducer, a spirit that lures people into the river with promises of wealth and fortune. Many victims didn't stumble into the water by accident. They walked in willingly, their eyes locked on an impossible vision. And when they were found, their skulls cracked open, brains missing, skin drained of blood. The locals said it was the Mamlambo feeding. Scientists, they called it superstition. Crocodiles, maybe, or a mix of imagination and fear. But ask yourself, can that many reports over generations all be dismissed so easily? One particular story stands out: the disappearance of a young woman named Zanelle. She lived in a nearby village and was known for her beauty and ambition. She often spoke about leaving for the city, chasing a better life, chasing riches. Then, one night, villagers swore they saw her by the river, speaking softly as if to someone unseen. She smiled, stepped into the water, and was gone. Her body was never recovered, only her scarf, tangled in the reeds, glowing faintly with some strange residue the elders refused to touch. So here's the question for you. Was Zanelle's disappearance a tragic accident? Or was she chosen, lured by something that knew exactly what she wanted and promised it in exchange for her soul? The deeper you go into these stories, the harder it becomes to separate myth from reality. And as the night grows darker, the river seems to hold its secrets tighter. But one thing's certain: the Mamlambo is more than just a tale to frighten children. It's a reminder that some waters are not meant to be crossed, and some shadows are not meant to be chased. And this is only the beginning of what the villagers revealed. The river doesn't just carry water, it carries memory. Every villager who's lost someone to it swears they still hear voices on quiet nights. Some claim they recognize them: lost brothers, missing daughters, husbands swallowed by the current, and the most unsettling part: the voices aren't crying for help, they're singing. Have you ever heard a sound so beautiful it made your skin crawl? That's how the villagers describe it: haunting melodies rising from the depths, impossible to ignore. The kind of music that slips into your thoughts and makes you forget your fear, your reason, even yourself. One traveler, a man from the city, laughed when the elders warned him. He had come to prove them wrong. He camped by the river with a recorder, determined to capture this so-called song. The next morning, his tent was empty, his recorder shattered, and his boots left neatly by the river bank. No footprints, no struggle, just silence. What do you think happened? Did he walk willingly into the water, hypnotized by the melody? Or was he dragged in, never given a chance to resist? That's the cruel trick of the Mamlambo. It doesn't just frighten you, it tempts you. The stories say it can show illusions, gold shimmering under the surface, jewels glinting in the moonlight. Some even claim it appears as a beautiful woman, standing ankle-deep in the river, smiling as if she's been waiting just for you. And people go to her, always. An elder once whispered to me, the Mamlambo does not take the weak. It takes the greedy, those who want more than they have. That is why it always wins. But is greed the real curse here? Or is it curiosity? Because, honestly, if you stood at the river's edge and saw treasure glowing in the black water, would you resist? Or would your mind betray you, even knowing the risks? Reports of Mamlambo attacks aren't just ancient folklore. Police records from the 1990s describe multiple victims pulled from rivers, their heads strangely damaged. The official word was crocodile attacks, but locals shook their heads. They knew better. The wounds were too precise, too deliberate. And then there's the chilling detail they don't put in reports: the brains missing. Not eaten like a crocodile would, but removed, as if something was feeding on the essence of thought itself. It makes you wonder if Mamlambo isn't just a beast, but something more, a spirit or a demon. What does it gain from devouring the mind? Is it nourishment, or is it collecting something far darker? Fragments of the soul. One night, a storm broke over the village. The river swelled, roaring with fury. The villagers locked their doors, refusing to look outside. But one family, desperate, sent their son to fish in the storm. Hunger forced them to risk it. He never came back. His father swore he saw lights under the surface that night, brighter than lightning, circling like serpents. And just before his son disappeared, the boy laughed as though he had seen something wonderful. The body was found days later, empty. So let me ask you, do you think Mamlambo is just hunting, or is it choosing? Picking victims not at random, but according to some hidden design. The villagers say if you hear the song, it's already too late. But the bravest hunters, those who've tried to face it, tell a different story. They say there's a chance, a dangerous one, to confront Mamlambo directly. And that's where this tale begins to shift. Because the moment someone tried, the river revealed a secret darker than anyone expected. The first time I saw her, I didn't believe my own eyes. It was late, the moon swollen and heavy in the sky, its silver light shivering across the surface of the river. The villagers had begged me not to go, but I couldn't resist. Every whisper, every story had drawn me to this moment, and then there she was. At first, I thought I was looking at a woman. Her skin seemed to glow faintly, her long dark hair flowing as though underwater even though she stood on dry land. She smiled, not the smile of a predator, but something warmer, almost inviting. My chest tightened. Have you ever felt drawn to something you knew you should fear? Like watching a flame dance too close to your hand, but still leaning closer. That's what it was like. Her eyes caught mine, and suddenly the river behind her shifted. It wasn't just water, it was alive. Shapes moved beneath the surface, coils gliding like shadows, eyes glinting like embers. The Mamlambo wasn't one being, it was many. Or maybe it could choose its form. I froze, but my mind wasn't still. It whispered, "Step forward." I didn't want to, but my body betrayed me, my feet sinking into the mud at the river's edge. Then her voice came, sweet, melodic. It didn't sound like words, but it filled me with a promise I couldn't quite refuse: riches, knowledge, power. All I had to do was follow. Would you have resisted, or would you have taken that step just to see if the impossible was real? The air grew colder, heavy with the scent of wet earth and decay. Behind her the water surged, and for a heartbeat I saw her true face. Her jaw elongated, snapping wider than any humans could. Sharp teeth gleamed, rows of them, like those of a serpent. Her neck twisted unnaturally, stretching long, slick scales flashing in the moonlight before vanishing again beneath a veil of illusion. My heart thundered, every instinct screamed to run, but my legs refused to move. The river rose, curling around her like it obeyed her command. And then she spoke not in song, but in words, clear, cold. "You've come to see me," she hissed, though her lips didn't move, so see. The ground beneath me trembled as something enormous shifted below the water. A head broke the surface serpentine, glistening, with eyes like liquid fire. The sight stole my breath. It was as if the woman was only a mask, and beneath her, the true form of Mamlambo waited. Lightning cracked above, and in that split second of brightness, I saw the full horror, a body long and monstrous, scales rippling with unnatural colors, and a mouth wide enough to swallow me whole. And yet, part of me wanted to step closer. She extended a hand, slender and human-looking, beckoning. The surface of the river shone with a strange light. I swear I saw shapes in it, not reflections, but visions, gold. A crown. A city that glittered beneath the waves, more beautiful than anything in this world. My pulse pounded in my ears. I wanted to reach out, to touch. But then I remembered the boy, the father's words about the laughter before he vanished. That empty body pulled from the river, and I understood if I took her hand, there would be no coming back. So instead, I whispered, "What are you?" Her smile widened, teeth flashing like knives. "Hunger," she said. The river roared, and suddenly she lunged forward. Her beauty shredded away, replaced with raw, horrifying truth, a monster of the deep, jaws snapping inches from my face. I stumbled back, gasping, my body finally mine again. But the image was burned into my mind, not a spirit, not just a legend, something real, something waiting. And I knew then I hadn't escaped, not really. Because once the Mamlambo chooses you, it doesn't stop. I don't remember running back to the village. My body moved on instinct, fueled by terror as the Mamlambo's roar echoed behind me, rolling through the night like thunder. Every step felt like the ground might open beneath me, every breath like the river itself was trying to pull me back. When I finally stumbled into the safety of the firelight, the villagers knew. They didn't need me to explain. My face, my trembling hands, told the whole story. The elder approached, his eyes dark with something more than fear, it was pity. "You've seen her," he whispered, "now you understand." And I did. The Mamlambo isn't just a creature. It isn't just a monster lurking in the river. It's hunger made flesh, it's temptation given form. It shows you everything you've ever wanted, right before it devours you. Even now, I hear her voice at night, sweet, distant, promising me riches, secrets, things no human should ever know. And sometimes, when the wind is right, I swear I can hear the river laughing. So I'll ask you this: if you were standing at the edge of that water, and she reached out her hand, would you take it? Be careful what you answer, because if the Mamlambo hears your heart, she may just come looking for you next. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next terrifying tale. And tell me in the comments, would you survive an encounter with the Mamlambo?